Welcome, everybody, to the Ringside Beer Show.
Welcome.
I'm your host, Alex Murillo.
And it's your boy, Jason Hambright.
Welcome, guys. This is our first episode. So we're going to be talking about the fights, current events, fights for this week, but a little bit about ourselves. So most of you guys might not know us. Some of you will. Jason?
Absolutely. Started off for you. So my name is Jason. I'm 28 years old. Currently reside in Muscoy, California. If you don't know, now you know. I've lived there my entire life. I spent a little time watching the fights. I spent a little time doing some art. Spent a little time hanging out with my co-host here. Mm-hmm. And that's it about me. Over time, you'll get to know me very well.
Yes.
Off to you.
A little bit about me. I'm a graphic designer. I'm the art director for Ringside Beer. My past history, I've worked with the UFC as one of the key artists. I've also worked with Bleacher Report as one of the social media content creators, and I was part of the Fight Mom graphics, production, yes. Creating the graphics for that film for Uninterrupted. Was it Uninterrupted?
Yeah, Uninterrupted.
Yes. And worked with my graphics. I've appeared on UFC, on Showtime for the Mayweather-McGregor.
Bleacher Report.
Yep. And then also the McGregor versus Mayweather money fight. A couple of the graphics I did appeared on the
almost every platform you can think
pretty
of.
Much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fun little fact, my wife appeared on the Los Angeles press conference. She was the woman behind holding the poster at the intro.
Right at the beginning. It was like... Couldn't miss it.
Yeah.
If you know her, you couldn't miss it. So.
All my buddies were like, "Oh, hey, I think we saw your wife." I was like, "Is that? Are you guys in LA?" I was like, "Yes." Yeah. That's a nice little, what do you call it? A little hidden gem.
That is the gem, I'd like to say. I mean, that's the biggest piece of work that you've done that's gotten the most recollection.
Yeah.
And I think now that we have this platform, people are going to be able to go back and look at it and be like, "Wow, the work that you have done."
Yeah. And
I've seen that before.
Yeah, and I've definitely done other stuff for UFC fighters. You know, Michelle Waterson for the Fight Mom, Ronda Rousey back in 2015. Did a couple of her graphics. She just reposted it as a fan. I'm like, she liked my work, and I definitely appreciate it because that opened so many opportunities, so many doors.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ronda Rousey.
Shout out.
Let's get into it. So, hey, did you see the fights this weekend?
I did. I got to watch it. I didn't get to focus as much as I would like to, I'll be honest with you, because we went and visited my fiance's brand new niece. So,
congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. So while we were trying to be considerate of a brand new baby, we had the fights on, and so I went out to the patio and was watching a couple of the fights, and I truly enjoyed it. I mean, obviously there's not the biggest names on of that card, but just the fact that sports are on right now, man, it's just so awesome.
Good. Yes, I'm so glad sports are coming back. Basketball. I mean, that's one of the big ones. NBA, MLB.
Yeah, we got baseball. We got
back.
Basketball. We got some boxing finally coming back.
Finally,
we got some UFC, some Bellator's finally coming back as well. Bellator's very underrated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's a lot of content going out right now. Yeah. A lot of content, which gives us a lot of stuff to talk about. Yes.
So, one of my favorite fights from that card was the Dariush versus Hunt. What's the other guy's name?
Hakhmedov?
Dariush. He's the one who had the spinning back fist or spinning. It was spinning.
I call that a forearm.
A spinning forearm, and dropped the guy in the first round with 20 seconds left. Wow. He's pretty good. I believe he's ranked 14th in the UFC.
He is ranked
division?
14th, and that was before the fight. So I expect him to climb up the ranks a little bit.
Yeah.
What really stood out to me was the post-fight press conference because the statement that he made was, he's been in the room with Sean Shelby and he's asked for these bigger names, and he wants a title shot. I mean, obviously, who doesn't, right? But this guy's on a heater. Yeah. And he won some opportunity, and he said he felt like he was begging. So at this point, he's going to, just step up and keep knocking these dudes out, whoever they put in front of him. And I love that about a guy because, there's politics when it comes to these sports, and if you don't got the big name to back you, you might get passed up. So the only thing you can do that's in your control is just keep knocking these cats out.
Well, I think for him, a great opportunity would be fight number 13, Donald Cerrone. Because that's not only that, you get the big name, you get the draw, a lot more people, more eyeballs, get to watch that fight. But I think that would be a great next fight for him.
And that'd be a great fight for Cerrone, too, because he's
coming off that loss with Conor McGregor with a 40-second loss. So
very bad loss, which, even gives people an opportunity to say, hey, does he have it anymore? Is he still that guy? And that's upsetting to me because I'm such a Cowboy fan. He's such an awesome guy. I mean, when you need somebody to step up, that's the guy.
Yeah.
So, the fact that people, don't appreciate that and they have to question it, it's like, dude, this guy's the original BMF, right? He has a ranch named after it. I mean, if you don't know, go look it up and you'll see, whoa, this guy should have fought for that belt. Yeah. So I respect the guy, and that would be a great fight. He can prove to everybody, hey, I can take on these guys who are on heaters, still put them away, still do what I got to do, still prove he's top of the line.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great fight for him.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I just think the name, the brand. I mean, dude, he needs a name. He needs to just cross over to that mainstream.
Yeah,
especially with Cerrone. He's a fan favorite. Win, lose or draw, he's always going to be a fan favorite.
He's always going to be a fan favorite, and he's right there next to him, 13. So it's not like the UFC is putting him against somebody in the top 10, and it's a risk. It's a good fight.
Yeah, definitely. Co-main event, which was, I believe, Chris Weidman won the unanimous decision.
Weidman was versus Akhmedov. So I made a mistake there, and I apologize. Darush was versus Holtzman.
Oh, yes, Holtzman.
Who got pieced up. Got pieced up.
Dude, it was yeah, man. Well, he got the two eye pokes, right? And
the two eye pokes. He took some solid knees to the chin.
And he took about 3 knees to the chin.
Yeah.
And Holtzman, and then Dariush
he had those nasty eye pokes.
One on the left and then one on the right, which I was like, whoa. Yeah. But after that, he just controlled the fight, Yeah,
it was good to see because, he's been on a heater. So
yeah, but you
want to see him put a guy like that away in that manner.
Yeah.
To prove like, hey, dude, I'm top 10.
But that spinning forearm, it was beautiful the way he landed it. Like he's almost like he knew he was going to land it, and that was it. No strikes giving after the knockout. Nope. He just knew.
It was one of those knockout and walk away kind of deals where it was like, okay, I've already hurt the guy.
What did you think about the Chris Weidman and Akhmedov fight?
We have our favorite fighters. We have our least favorite. I would say Weidman is in between for me. With that being said, it was really nice to see him come back and get a win.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy seeing people ride off on losing streaks. I would prefer to see cats like this, former champions, maintain some...
Oh, like end on a high note?
Yes, exactly. I would like to see them, maintain some like wins and not go out on a bad note, especially a guy like this where, what do they call him, the All-American hero? Like,
yeah.
He's respected. And he's been in the game for such a long time. And, to keep putting in these wars with these big guys, these guys that he's going up in weight, and he's trying to find where he fits in.
Well, that fight with the Cuban guy, he fought Adesanya recently. Romero. Oh my God! When he took that knee to the head,
Soldier of God,
dude. I felt bad for Chris Romero.
Yeah, I didn't think he was ever going to look the same.
No, man. But I'm glad he got the unanimous decision this past weekend. I want to see more of him, so hopefully he gets a fight pretty quick.
I'd like to see more of him as long as he's winning. So if they have to spoon feed him fights, let's do it. I don't see why not. Maintain some dignity with this guy. Give him something he could ride off into the sunset, man. Don't kick this guy while he's down.
I think he could get to a title contention, a possible title contention again. I think he has like one more ride.
I can agree with that. I think he definitely has it in him. I think it boils down to the UFC. What are they going to do? How are they going to set up the path for this guy? How are they going to set him up for success? Because they do that. Let's be real here. Yeah. Some guys, they give the path to success. Some guys, they don't.
Yeah.
Some guys like Sean O'Malley, they're going to give you a Chito Vera.
Dude, that's not...
But we're going to save that for later.
We'll save that for later.
We're going to save that for later.
And finally, the main event. Derek Lewis versus Alexei Oleinik.
Yeah, that was a good
Dude,
fight.
I mean, I was nervous just watching the first fight, because I was like, all right, this is going to end in knockout. One of these guys is going to win, by vicious knockout. Yeah. But Derek Lewis came in at 265, and Olinsky came in at 220, if I wasn't mistaken.
So he was trying to outpace him.
Dude, he had a lot of
lot more speed, a lot more agility.
Derek Lewis came in a lot heavier, dude.
So he's got a lot more.
He came
strength.
in with a max.
Got a lot more strength.
But he definitely looked good in the first round, and that second round he just sprinted to him and got the knockout, dude. That was awesome.
I like to watch a lot of the pre-fight interviews, because you want to see what people are talking about, and then you want to see how they back it up.
Yeah.
And what I liked about Derek Lewis is he acknowledges, like, hey, I've been sitting back. I haven't been letting go of the trigger. I've been just kind of, doing my thing, which sitting back and I think he said something along the lines of becoming comfortable with the fighter he's becoming.
Yeah.
And then now it's gotten to a point you can see where he's like, okay, I got to let it loose,
Yeah. Well, he during his post-fight interview, he said that he's not going to fight until he drops like another 15 pounds or something, like 15, 20 pounds, which I think that's going to give him more conditioning, that's what he wants. He wants to be war conditioned for the tougher fights. Well, yeah, and that's great, man. Because I'm like, Derek Lewis, more conditioned, which is crazy. He's this far, I
know he's been in this many fights, but the thing is, because he was always knocking guys out.
Yeah.
So now he got to the pinnacle and he fought a Daniel Cormier, and he realized, oh, this is a whole other level.
Oh yeah.
Do I have the potential to be there? Absolutely. Am I there yet? No. And so now this is great to see. He's acknowledging, hey,
yeah,
I can do this, but it's in this way.
Yeah.
And so it was nice to see him, to fight the way that he did. He fought differently. He wasn't afraid to let loose, but he also was still conserving himself. So it was really good to see. I mean, I would love to see this guy fight for another title. Now, this is my question, which we have to talk about these fights eventually. But Stipe and Daniel Cormier, okay, this trilogy, are they both retiring? Is Stipe going to stay if he wins? That question there really leads me to like, okay, so let's say they both retire, right? They both retire. The belt's up for grabs.
DC and CB, yeah.
Correct, Stipe and DC. Who's going to fight for the belt? Is it Ngannou and Rosenstrike? That would be a great fight.
Yeah.
But realistically, like, is that the fight we want to see? No. We want to see Stipe fight Francis again.
Ooh.
But that we could say for another time too.
Yeah.
We could say that for another time too, because we still got a little more time for the next episode.
Yeah. Well, dude, let's hit some current events from this past weekend, pretty much.
Yes, sir.
One of the ones was, did you see George Masvidal was in a cornhole competition?
I did. And just a little side note, my fiance and I, she had gotten a cornhole set for her pops.
Yeah.
So we've been playing cornhole in the backyard. And it's difficult. I don't care what people say. Maybe because you have a couple drinks in you, may make it a little more difficult. It's difficult. But I think what really got me was like how they did the face-off.
Oh, dude.
What really got me was like, all right, guy, don't put your hands on George Masvidal. I know you're trying to sell it.
Oh, man.
I know you're trying to sell it,
though, dude. I loved it. I was like, dude, it was just like, oh, he's, obviously he doesn't fight.
I think I liked,
obviously the cornhole champion, he doesn't fight, but I thought it was like cool, just a little, just
it was funny.
Adding to the show.
I think the what saved it for me was George Masvidal's son going and beating him up. He started swinging on him after, so that was what saved it for me. It was like, all right, my son can handle my lightweight, because I was like, oh, this guy's bold. Dude, this guy's bold, man.
Dude, I'm almost guaranteed they talked about it during backstage. Like, hey, man, can I?
Hey, we'll slide you an extra, $10,000 if you let me put your hands on you.
Don't kill me, Street Jesus.
Hey, man, I swear, I like you. I'm just trying to,
let's amp it up, bro.
Just trying to get some views.
But yeah, man, he talked about he wants to have another. George Masvidal talked about having another fight in November, December. It hasn't been set yet, but he said he's down. And
so does that mean he's willing to take a fight that is not Kamaru Usman?
I don't know, man. Well, because Kamaru Usman is set to fight Gilbert Burns after this. Like I think that's what Dana White said. He's gonna fight Gilbert Burns because he was next in line. Regardless.
It is supposed to be the fight that was supposed to happen.
Exactly.
But the thing is that Masvidal took that fight on a 6-day notice. So that right there can destroy that whole Gilbert Burns fight in a second.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, he didn't have enough time to train properly. He had to cut 20 pounds in 6 days. There's so many questions and so many like excuses that can justify them running it back. Do I think it should happen? No, I don't.
I kind of want to see either Masvidal get Conor. But Conor, I think Masvidal is a little bit too big for him.
So this is how I view the Masvidal situation. He's one of the top guys, right?
Oh, well, hands down. Well,
one of the top guys.
One of the top draws right now, regardless. Dude.
So that's what I'm getting at, okay? Yeah. So he's one of the top guys. He should fight for a title, right? And he got that opportunity. And that was amazing to see. And that's what us fight fans wanted, right?
Yeah.
But let's be real here. He lost that fight, okay? And he lost it in a pretty bad fashion.
Well, I'm just saying he did lose, but it's almost like he took the loss on his record, but he gained so much more.
He did, fans. And this is what I'm getting at. Yeah. So yes, it was awesome, and it boosted his name, likeness, everything. But the thing is, we want to see. So I want to see somebody challenge Kamaru Usman for the title, right? And Colby Covington did pretty good.
He did go 5 rounds, but I mean,
he had a broken jaw.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm okay. You know, he didn't look so good against Kamaru Usman. I would rather see him go against Conor. Make that money, dude. Make that money.
He only had 6 days. Obviously, you're a fighter. You're trained to fight on a call, on a dime. But I feel like
my boy's been doing it for years, bro. And La Calle también, bro.
But I feel like if he actually trained for just specifically Usman and not just in general, I think he would have a much, much better performance. But you never know. That's the thing. It's like you never know who, like, any given night,
It's a justifiable response. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just the fact that he took it on a 6-day notice gives him that opportunity to have those things. And it's okay. I respect it. But what I'm saying is, let's be real. Well, wouldn't you want to see this guy make money? Wouldn't you want to see this guy fight somebody like Conor McGregor and to put a knuckle sandwich on that guy? I mean, and then, hey, if he beats up Conor, boom, you could justify giving him the title shot right then. But I think running it right back before Gilbert Burns, I think Gilbert Burns needs to put that work in.
Yeah.
And if he takes it from Usman, then that changes up the whole scenario, don't it?
Well, did he see that?
Does that mean he has to fight Masvidal next? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
I don't know, man. Because sometimes
what if Covington wins against Woodley?
And that's
does that put him right back in?
Yeah, and that got announced today. That the official
dropping official news.
Oh, official news! That got dropped today. Woodley versus Covington, and man, I could see Covington winning that fight. Like
I can too. We got it, man. I can't wait till it's that fight week, bro. Because we're gonna go in on that one.
Yes.
Because I like Tyron Woodley. I do.
I like Tyron Woodley too. And
he's a great champ, dude.
Yeah. But he definitely got out wrestled by Usman. Like he was.
And that's the thing, man. And that's where I'm getting at, man. These young cats, dude. These guys. He doesn't have the heart of a lion like how he in his mind. But when he's fighting, you see it's the delay. There's a delay. He doesn't pull the trigger. I don't know if it's the confidence thing.
Who?
Tyron Woodley. I should clear that up. Excuse me. I'm talking about Tyron Woodley.
Okay.
With him, I feel like these young guys now, they just got the edge on him, man. Like, he's been there, done that. So,
I still think he could get it. Like, he could still...
He's a hard hitter.
That's what I'm saying.
Hitter. And I don't want him to come punch me in the face for saying this. Like, I'm just a guy sitting on a chair with a mic in my face.
Tyron Woodley.
We love you.
This is him saying that.
I listen to your music, bro. I really do.
And... But I think Tyron Woodley could get it because he has that animosity towards Covington.
There's aggression there.
They have that beef where I'm like, he didn't have that beef with Usman, really. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So there's that little extra of like, hey man, I don't like this dude. I'm gonna train a little bit harder. Obviously, he's gonna train the hardest, but there's that little, hey, I need to win against this guy.
Yeah, Tyron has that because if he loses against Covington, I mean. You will allow a lot of what he said to become fruition. Like Tyquil, I think that was what he used to call him. Tyquil, snoozely. I don't know. It was entertaining, Yeah. But the thing is now it's like now you guys got to step into the ring. So all that stuff that was said.
Yeah.
Now it's time.
Yeah.
And it's official.
Announced today. what was else? Another thing that happened over the weekend was Sean O'Malley. Oh, that's another thing that's getting released today. He releases a apparel line. So the reason
I need some of that.
Yeah, the reason for that was that Sean O'Malley came out with a limited edition run of his apparel, sold out in 39 seconds, and made like $20,000 on jerseys, just jerseys of his own. You know?
Yeah, it takes me about 365 days to make close to 30.
Yeah.
So, the fact that he did that in 39 seconds, it's like this guy has so much juice behind him.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm one of the guys. I respect it. I love it. It's so entertaining. The way this guy fights, the way this guy looks, the way this guy sounds, everything about him is just like, it's just...
If I'm not mistaken, also
draws you in.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's doing everything on his own. He said he got rid of his old manager because he's like, dude, I'm putting all the work. I'm just giving this guy.
Yeah, and he's just signing off a check for nothing.
Yeah. So he was like, he bought his own octagon. He invested. I think his girl does his hair, which is his hair is dope, man.
Yeah, his wife does his hair.
Yeah,
this dude has an octagon inside of a warehouse.
Yeah,
where that's literally perfect humidity and perfect temperature to train for fights because you're being put through, degrees that are 20, 30 degrees hotter than what it is outside.
Yeah. And then not only that, his apparel is just doing so well, and his podcast. Have you seen his podcast yet?
I have. I've watched a little bit of it, and it's pretty awesome, dude. I play video games as well. Play a little Call of Duty Warzone, and I love watching Twitch. And dude's so entertaining, man. It's just like you just want to watch what he's doing. You want to see the success that he has.
Yeah.
It's contagious, man.
It's almost like when Conor first started, and there was just like that buzz.
It's got that
him.
Conor McGregor-esque following.
Exactly. Sean O'Malley's like.
That's the one thing I forgot. You'll see it next episode. I'm gonna bring my proper 12 bottle that I finished because I'm proud. Yeah. And I did that in one night,
dude.
I gave a little bit out, but
that's all.
I drank the rest of it.
Yeah, man. So yeah. Congrats on Sean O'Malley.
Congrats to him.
Apparel line today.
It's amazing.
You guys can go check it out. Some pretty cool tie-dye stuff.
I believe it's on UFC.com, right?
What I like is it's so different from, and also he the reason why he also starting this is because the Reebok deal.
That's what I was going to say. Question: is it through Venom or is it through Reebok?
Well, it's not neither. It's on his own platform.
It's the Sugar Sean.
Sugar Sean, just all him. Which I think that's awesome because he has such this big platform.
He's his own brand.
Following. Yeah, he has about through Twitch and Instagram, he has 1.1 million followers, and he just started on the Contender series. What was it like? What, less than a year ago, something like that?
I don't want to say because I just don't know, but I want to say maybe it's been close to 2, but the fact of how this kid came into the scene,
you could
knocking dudes out.
Well, you could be right because I'm like, this year 2020 has all been just
we don't have a recollection of what time is. Yeah. Who's to say 24 hours are in a day? Yeah, what is a minute, bro?
Yeah, like what's today? Monday?
What is the Friday? Concept of time?
It all blends together. Seriously.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Well, dude, congrats to Sean O'Malley.
Congrats to Sean O'Malley. I might have to come with the rainbow hair. Might have to do it.
Hey, 50,000 likes, and I'll color his hair for it.
50,000 likes, and I'll grow some hair out to do that. We could do it to my beard.
Oh, we could do it to your beard?
50,000 likes. Run it.
Run it. Next up, Ray Borg released from the UFC after UFC Vegas 5 withdrawal, and that was his
surprised?
That was his second withdrawal. I feel bad that he got let go, man. Because I don't know if you know his situation.
I do.
Because
I do.
To me, it hits home because and his kid had 12 operations. He's recovering from a brain tumor, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm not mistaken, he pulled out twice because of family problems.
Because of that, yeah.
So he
got dealt such a bad card, man.
Dude, talking from experience, my son 2 years ago, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. He's doing well now, but when you're in it, it's such a stressful
Shout
thing.
Out to the doctors, to the surgeons, to people that put other people before themselves, like this, the significance that people you will never realize have in your life.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Just want to throw that out there.
Mason's doctors were amazing. Her surgeon, I cannot thank her enough. Like when she got out of the operating room, that was one of the most stressful days of my life.
Yep.
And when she got out of the operating room, we were just waiting. Like it felt like the 10 seconds for us to tell him he's good or he's awake.
Once again, the concept of time. What is it?
Yeah, the 10 seconds felt like a lifetime. But the second she told me he's recovering, he's doing well. I wanted, like, I felt like I picked her up, and I was just like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And my son was diagnosed at 6 months, so it was, it was.
That's like, the most. It's devastating.
Yeah. But my little man, Mason, he's a fighter.
What a stud,
dude.
man.
He's a fighter.
What a stud.
First year, battled brain tumor. Second year, we're handling this right now, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
What a.
But the thing is, like, to look back when he's an adult and to be like, wow, dude, I survived the end of the world.
Dude, that can
the
be
end of the world as you had known it, the end of the world as your wife had known it. Just it's so crazy time right now.
Yeah.
Such a crazy time.
Yeah. We won't go into that. We're going to keep this mainly like fight really, but yes,
100%.
It's definitely a rough time.
It's just amazing to see a Mason, and the obstacles he can overcome. He can overcome everything.
Yeah. You can, man.
Seriously.
Stud. That's who I look up to, man.
100%.
My 2.5-year-old son. I'm like, dude, I look up to him.
Once again, dude, people you would never think, man.
But yeah, no, shout out to all the doctors putting in work, especially during this time, man. It's hectic.
So to bring it all back to Ray Borg, where I mentioned, like, are you surprised? This is when I think of Ray Borg, this is what gets me, is how he always missed weight. That's a tough one, okay? Because most guys don't get the
separating his personal life from his fight. Yeah, so
when I keep it strictly on the professional career that he has had, although those do play a part, right? We can't ignore the two.
Yeah, his record, if I'm not mistaken, is 7 wins, 5 losses, and
so it doesn't reflect the fighter that he is.
And I mean, he appears to be a good dude. Like it's just he's
overall around good dude.
Yeah, and it just when I read that, and they didn't make an announcement on why he did it, or like why they released him. But given he missed or he withdrew from 2 events back to back, I believe.
There might have been some previous stuff in contracts.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, plus we don't know, but we're just speculating right here.
Speculation, pure, But yeah, that's just my thing. Is it just sucks because he missed weight so many times, and that only enables the brass to be like, okay, well, we can't rely on you, because that's one thing. That's one thing Dana White can't stand is people can't make weight. If you can't make that weight, go up a weight class.
And plus, on the business side of it, I could 100% see, like, hey, man, you.
Yeah, it affects business. I mean, people don't hire you to have you call off, 60% of the time or whatever it is, So, it breaks my heart because, once again, his record doesn't reflect the fighter that he is. He's such a good dude. He can fight, man. Like, I wouldn't want this dude choking me out, bro.
Yeah, no, he's a fighter.
Once again, coming from a guy sitting on a chair with a mic in his face, it's all love, but it just sucks because, as a fight fan, you want to see those people hit that mark, get that weight down, be professional. I hate that they have to weight cut. I like the one championship model where, they
walk around the natural way.
Exactly. What is their flyweight is 35? Something like that. So, or bent, I'm not too sure. But nonetheless, they walk around at the regular way. They're more healthy. It's just, you're not killing yourself before a fight. It takes away so much. So I'd rather not have them weight cut. But then again, this is how you gain a competitive edge on somebody. So it's part of the game.
Regardless,
I respect it.
Regardless how many weight classes they have, someone will always want to get the edge. Like, okay, I'm going to cut a couple more pounds just to be the heavier fighter walking in. So, that's expected,
Right. So that's where it just breaks my heart because it's just like, man, we expect you to.
Well, I mean, to Ray Borg, we wish you the best. We
wish you the best, brother. All with love,
man.
All with
love.
And
your family. I wish your son the best, dude.
I hope you know
seriously. Good dude. Yeah. Next up, dude. This one came out.
Signed to Bellator, dude.
Well, this speaking about Bellator, Corey Anderson signed with Bellator, which was crazy to me because he was the number 4. He was going to get ready for he was close to the title shot.
Yeah, that division's a little sketchy to begin with. So I like it. I like the fact that he went to Bellator. I like all the former UFC fighters going to Bellator because if you're not at the top of your game and if you're not contending for a title over there, you should probably go somewhere where it might be just a little bit more easy. And I'm not saying Bellator's easier.
Yeah.
I think just that division in Bellator would be easier for him.
What is he? Light heavyweight?
Light heavyweight.
Okay. So he's going to Bellator where Ryan Bader?
Yeah, he's the double champ.
He's a champ right now, right?
Double champ.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. I think he's staying up at heavyweight.
Well, no, I mean,
No?
no, I think he would
I
fight.
don't know. I need to educate myself a little more, but I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. But I think it's so crazy because he still had fights under his contract and the UFC let him go. I'm kind of surprised that they did that. I don't know because he did knock out the up and comer prospect Walker, Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker, dude. Which I honestly thought I was like, dude, he put the brakes on his
He needed
grind,
that.
dude.
Yeah, he needed that.
Yeah. So, but in that division, Derek Lewis just won. Curtis Blades called him out. He's like, I got dibs on Derek Lewis next, which is awesome because Derek Lewis is ranked 4th, and
did it change?
Curtis Blades? I don't know.
Ouch.
What up, man?
Let's take a look.
Yeah, because I know Curtis Blades called out Derek Lewis after the win. He's like, I got dibs on him. Yeah,
I'm going to refer to
the notes,
the handy dandy notes.
And so yeah, man. I just think that it was kind of odd
he's
that
still at number 4. So we got Blades at 3, Ngannou at 2, Cormier at 1, and Stipe's the champ.
But
as of right now,
as of right now. But Curtis Blades, if I'm not mistaken, he called out Derek Lewis and said, I got dibs on him.
Yes,
and
because Derek Lewis said, I'll either only fight Blades or Ngannou. And Blades said, run it.
So I hope they do, man. That'd be such a good fight right there.
Yeah. And it would help clear out the following questions that are going to come after Stipe and DC.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of questions, and we won't know how that night turns out until it happens.
Well, if they both decide to retire, well, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
But Ngannou up next, and Ngannou that's training all around, because the first time he fought Stipe, he thought he was just going to knock him out, and then
he got schooled, bro.
Yeah, and then he completely got
educated
in wrestling. So
yep. He got educated on the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
There's more than just being a good striker and being strong and being feared.
Yeah, but dude, we'll see, man. We'll see. But definitely, that's cool that Curtis Blades called out Derek Lewis. I'm like, dude, that's a fight to make. I think.
Yeah, it's a good fight. Plus, if Derek Lewis wins that, he's right back in the title contention.
Yeah.
Where he should be. He's a good draw, man.
Can you imagine Derek Lewis versus Ngannou? Did that already happen, or might? Because if I'm not mistaken, that did happen, and I think maybe like 5 punches were thrown.
Oh my God, it's been so long.
I felt like that happened, and I'm pretty sure they did because they didn't. They were a lot hesitant.
I know there was a fight where Ngannou did not throw nothing.
Yeah, so if you pull up Ngannou, yep.
Okay, so we got Ngannou here, 16-3.
And if you pull up his history, which is stats and records, yep, right there. Keep on going down. Right.
Okay, so his last fight was Rosenstrike. Behind that was Dos Santos.
Which he knocked him out in the first round.
Velasquez.
Dos Santos got knocked out in the first round. Velasquez got knocked out in the first round.
Blades. Yeah. Okay, July 7th, 2018.
Yep.
3 rounds went to decision because both of them didn't.
But Derek Lewis won that fight. So that would be an awesome fight to run it back now that maybe Derek Lewis.
He's got four fights under his belt after that.
Yeah, especially if Derek Lewis continues his conditioning, dude, him and Ngannou actually like not being hesitant to throw the punches.
It'd be a bomb fest.
Or being hesitant to be worn out to go through the 5 rounds or 3 rounds, whatever.
Yeah, they definitely both have evolved into more well-rounded fighters.
Yeah, I would like to see that again, though.
In a division like this heavyweight division, that's amazing to see. Because, back in the day, it used to be just big guys throwing bombs.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
The first burp.
Oh, yeah.
Glad it wasn't me.
No, it's all me, bro. But, to see them evolve into much more well-rounded fighters and to have more to offer than just, those big bombs, man, it's awesome to see. So I would love to see him run that back. I would also like to see Stipe versus Ngannou again. I think that would be a great fight.
That'd be a great fight.
Once again, both fighters are evolved. Now,
but who knows what's going to happen?
It's such a tough road ahead for these guys. Retire, not retire. Right off in the sunset, or not.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Well, next up on the current events, we have Conor McGregor announces his engagement to Devlin.
Yeah, D. Devlin.
McGregor. Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, she's 33, getting married. Conor McGregor's 32. I didn't even know he had 2 kids. I know he had the son.
Yeah, he has a daughter too.
Yeah, I had no clue he had a daughter.
I think he doesn't post so much. Well, he does now, but when she was first born, it was more, I think, during the time where he was going through so much through, retiring and all these headlines, right? I think he wanted to just keep that in-house. This is all speculation. I don't know the guy. Would like to know the guy.
What? You don't
Once again, I drank a whole proper 12.
What? You don't know Conor McGregor, bro? You don't know Conor McGregor?
No, but we've drawn him a couple times, and I look at a picture quite often. The guy, handsome guy. But
and that's another guy I got to thank. On top of Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor. If it wasn't for Conor,
oh, dude, he reposted some of your artwork, and it took off.
Well, if the reason.
This is true, too. This is straight facts.
Yeah, the reason why the Money fight was another key factors with that happened, it was because he reposted my graphic saying...
What year was that? What year was that?
The fight happened in 2017. I believe I posted that maybe in 2016.
Yeah.
And the caption was MMA versus boxing, which blew up. And I had everyone reaching out saying, hey, can I use your graphics? I was like, no.
Nope.
No, they everyone wanted to license it, but I just thought it was such a cool moment. Waking up that morning, my phone is blowing up. My feed is just I'm like, what the heck is going on? Thousands of people just liking and commenting.
Literally,
oh, congratulations! And because of that, I got the contracts to sign with the UFC to be one of the key artists. Granted, that lasted about a year or so. But because, they signed with ESPN and they have their own graphics department. But just thankful for the opportunity, man. It
was such a fun time.
Dude, such a fun time, man. Getting interviewed, meeting other fighters, meeting other people, man.
And then to see your work, dude, everywhere.
Everywhere, man.
You see it on such major platforms whoa.
I had my cousins go to Rosarito and it was on one of the billboards out there. I was like, what?
You're like, I need some financial compensation. Thank you.
Which is funny because I didn't even, I was like, I got zero out of it. I mean, other than the UFC contract to do the key.
Yeah, you got some recognition, which, I mean, who can put a $sign on that?
Well, man, it was such a surreal time, man. I like, that was such an awesome time to be a fight fan.
It was so fun. Dude. Yeah, it was so fun. Yeah, especially to be a fight fan because, the hype was just so surreal. Yeah. And then when you're actually involved with it and part of the movement, especially for a certain fight,
Yeah, and I reached out to the Mayweather Promotions with my second graphic, and I told them, you guys can use it. It was for Showtime, and
I remember that.
And you can see it right now. I think it's called like Mayweather McGregor Epilogue on YouTube, and it's the graphic that they used when they were inside the meeting to on the TV screens.
Yeah.
And it was Floyd Mayweather with his boxing belt and Conor with his UFC belt on the other side. And
on one of Dana White's cakes, they had the image on one of Dana White's cakes. So somebody gave him a cake for his birthday, small cake.
Yeah.
And it had that image. And I about lost my mind, dude. I was like, oh my God, dude, this is...
Yo, Dana White, you're eating my graphics, bro.
This is real.
Dude.
It just gets surreal when you see, stuff like that, get on those platforms.
Yeah, and I think for you might have some viewers out there be like, "Oh, how did you do it?" Like, dude, I was so passionate about the UFC. I just wanted to be part of it. I'm still am like, I just wanted to be part of it so bad. Where I was like, okay, man, I'm gonna do the graphics and I'll give it to you guys.
Yeah, this is our passion.
Yeah, and
this is why we're doing this.
And that opened up so many opportunities. That opportunity led to me being the art director for Ringside Beer.
Yeah,
and
shout out Ringside Beer.
Exactly. And it opens up so many doors. So huge thank you to the UFC for giving me that opportunity, and using the graphics like that's, I could honestly say I was part of one of the biggest events in combat history.
One of the biggest.
And other than Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
We're in 2020 and they're still talking about fighting again. Still.
So.
And even Pacquiao now is coming to the picture.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I feel like this is a great time to mention.
Well, before we go on there, UFC and Mayweather Promotions, they're still talking about co-promoting.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, what I was going to mention.
Dana White was just on TMZ saying that's very possible. Like they're like, yeah, we're still talking.
It makes sense because Dana White pulled the plug on Zuffa boxing, so he does not want to dive into it that way. Well, so this right here makes a lot of sense.
Well, not only that, I mean, obviously with COVID that's going around, and it kind of put a pause on everything. So right now, I get it. He's just trying to have fights right now. He's just trying to give their fighters fights.
Just flood the market.
Fill out those contracts that the fighters have. So I understand, but it's awesome to hear that they still want to do cross promotions. Like, who would they bring over? But that's what
Lomachenko. We still want to see him fight, dude. I mean, that would be one of the people that I would love to see crossover.
If I'm not mistaken, T.J. Dillashaw, his 2-year suspension is coming up, right? And he trained with Lomachenko, right?
They could run it. Because I know Lomachenko's been working on his leg kicks, so.
Dude, can you imagine if he comes over to the UFC?
That'd be great. I mean, it's fascinating to look at a brand and say, how much bigger can you get? How much bigger can you get? You signed with ESPN. But to bring over a fighter like Lomachenko, who, I mean, nobody's going to question it. Dude has hands, man. He could strike.
Oh, yeah.
So, people are going to watch that fight. They're going to tune in.
That's another big fight if they do make it. I mean, we don't know.
I'd love to see Canelo come over too, but that's I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll do that. I would like to see that, but
when Masvidal said, I'll go over to boxing and fight Canelo, I was like,
now that's good too. It's just so good for the sport. And see, that's the stuff I want Masvidal to do.
You know what's funny? And
I don't want him to fight for title shots, bro.
You know how much hate I got for Mayweather McGregor when I said, oh yeah, boxing versus MMA? Everyone's like,
the purists.
Well, on both sides, everyone sent me hate mail, and I was like, dude, I'm a fan. Like, I want.
Why are you instigating this?
I want to see what hasn't been done yet. And maybe it was just like, dude, like that's something so big.
Well, it all started off with just an idea.
Well, seriously, I mean,
and then they were the ones who were like, you know what, I could beat each other up, and then boom,
And the reason why I made that graphic, I was working with a Bleacher Report at the time, and they called me and they said, hey man, we have some news that's coming out of Floyd's camp. And this was before anything was even popping off. They're like, oh, we need a graphic. And I was like, okay. And they quickly called me right back. Like, oh, we had somebody already make it. We're good. And I was like, okay, no problem. Thank you for the info. And they
didn't even realize what they did.
They did not. And so they made their own graphic. I think they had like an old school, like yellow background, kind of, I don't know if it's like a stat, old boxing, what do you call it?
Lame.
But so I was like, you know what? I got the info. I'm going to make the graphic. And then boom, next day, I was like, damn, Connor, bro.
Yeah, you were on it, dude.
You were on it. Hey, 10%, bro.
Hey, little sum.
No, it's all good, man. But I'm just glad that I, like, as a designer, artist, you want to create something that the world sees, I think that's what so much artists, like, for years, they do paintings or they do something. Be like, man, I want to get to something where everyone has seen it.
That's the goal, is to reach the biggest platform, the biggest audience that you can,
And I feel
you want haters too, bro. You do. You want to know why? Because that means people are talking about you.
Yeah, man.
Good or bad.
Yeah, so it was such an awesome experience, man. But dude, next up, so this weekend, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. was supposed to happen. Randomly got canceled. What? Announced today or yesterday?
2 days. Yeah, yesterday. No explanation.
It got postponed till November 28th in Carlson, California. Well, that's a new location. So, I tried to look into it. No, they haven't disclosed why. Nothing. I really don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, once again, speculation.
Pure speculation.
Pure speculation. I believe it's an exhibition, right? Did it get sanctioned? I think it got sanctioned as well, right? Yeah. So does that mean they're going to get tested?
I mean, but I don't believe.
Because once again, it's an exhibition.
Well, Mike Tyson's 54. Roy Jones Jr. is 51. If I'm not mistaken, this will be his second fight at heavyweight.
I wish I was more educated in previous boxers
Well, Mike Tyson retired back in 2005, and he retired with a loss. I'm drawing a blank on who he last fought. Oh, you know what? You can pull it up on the thing. So he retired in 2005. I believe it was a knockout loss, and I just don't know why they paused the fight. Like, why they postponed it. Like, there's no.
He has not fought since 2005, and he lost to Kevin McBride.
Yep. Yeah, man. I just don't understand why they postponed it, and I wish there was some clarity on it.
Yeah. So this is my thing. I think these guys. It first started off to be something small, something to generate some charity, something to get the fighting god out of Mike. You know,
Mike Tyson said that all the money would go to charity, so he's just doing it, to help out other people, which is awesome.
I think got to a point where they are taking it more seriously, and I think they postponed it to get a sufficient fight camp in. Maybe even work out some human growth hormone related issues. Maybe. I mean, bro, they're in their 50s, dude. I mean, if they're not taking some sort of supplement, I would assume they're not doing themselves any justice.
Well, to add, I mean, I don't think they
cycle through it.
I don't think they will take it because they're both in the same age. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's fighting a younger person and needs that.
You would hope that they wouldn't do that.
Well, I hope they don't.
Speculation.
Speculation.
And I would be okay with it either way.
Speculation by Jason.
And I'm fine with it either way.
And
this is purely for entertainment purposes.
Yeah. I don't know why they pulled it, because I was actually looking forward to this card.
Oh, it broke my heart, man. I was so pumped to have such a good weekend full of content.
And for I mean, obviously this was the purists are like, man, I don't want to watch this fight.
Right.
And I'm like,
why watch two 50-year-olds swing it out?
Yeah, but I mean,
because it's Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. That's why.
Yeah, I still want to see it. I feel like where are we in? Oh, dude, we're in August, September, October, November. 3 months. So you know what? Maybe speculation. Maybe they are going to make it 12 rounds.
Yeah, it was an 8-round fight, right?
It was 8 rounds exhibition. But I guess
it ain't going 12 rounds.
When you make it an exhibition, I guess there are certain rules. I did not know this, so
that's why I was confused on how I think it was the WBO, but how they sanctioned it. It's like it wasn't meant to be a real fight like that, Yeah. So why are you trying to dip your hands into it? But then again, I don't know the rules on that.
But I feel by doing this is maybe making the fight even bigger, because now everyone was expecting Mike Tyson to come out, and then the 3-month wait, maybe they'll make it the 12 rounds.
I mean, I can see that too. Yeah,
or maybe or make it 10.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
We haven't been seeing Mike Tyson, out on his platforms like we have been. So, maybe he is putting in that work. I mean, I seen a video of him walking around. This dude looks so good, bro. He's big.
Dude. I mean, Iron Mike Tyson. He's still big.
I know, but we're talking about a 54-year-old Mike Tyson.
I know.
Who was not motivated. I mean, if you go and watch his podcast. I think Hotboxing, right?
Yeah.
With Mike Tyson. You sit there and you watch it, he cries. He's like, I don't want to go back and ever feel like that. Now he's like, oh, that boy's back.
Well, not only that, I think when he was outside of boxing, he was like, I forgot, he was doing some kind of interview and he had his belts laid out and he was like, none of this makes, I lost this. I had, I gave it all up for these belts and I was doing drugs and all that stuff. And he's like, this doesn't mean anything. He was more happy just having a show, his family, And
it's the Toad.
I feel like
he got him.
Once he got out of the boxing game, it's kind of like he was like, you know what? He was clouded by a bunch of yes people, and
he was also what do they call it? Where you were where you're mind controlled?
mind controlled. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he was just not
like brainwashed.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where he had to have a certain type of mentality to be a fighter. After his trainer passed and those things, that it might have disappeared. And but once again, I like seeing these guys ride off on a high note. So I would love to see Mike Tyson get it back. I would love to see Roy Jones Jr. get it back. Personally, it's a win-win for me as a fight fan. Yeah. I truly enjoy the matchup.
I enjoy watching Roy Jones Jr.'s earlier fights. Like I think he's still good, and I'm glad they didn't.
He makes a lot of good points too when he talks.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. He's a great analyst.
Like I'm the only person that did this. I'm the only person that did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done all this, but what about me,
dude? Who do you think would win? Like just right now, like obviously we just got a little glimpse. We still got 3 months.
I'm the kind of guy, and I'm sure you viewers will find this out over time. If you know me, you already know. I like to stick with who I enjoy more as a person, I guess. So I'm a little biased when it comes to some fighters. I picked Mike Tyson. I picked Mike Tyson because I truly feel like he has that it factor where he has the ability to turn on that switch and become a killer.
Well, my concern is he hasn't fought since 2005, and his last fight was lost. So Roy Jones Jr., if I'm not mistaken, he fought 2 years ago?
We can look that up.
But he's definitely fought recently. I don't know, man. Now that it's being prolonged or postponed until November, was it 28th? You might be right. I mean, they might be giving Mike Tyson a little bit more training time, And with that being said, it's like, dude, now I don't know, because if the fight was going to still happen this weekend, I would have been Roy Jones Jr. all day. But now that there's 3 months,
it's
with Mike Tyson training, now that
2018.
Yeah, so 2018, 2 years ago, February 8th, 2018.
Scott Sigmund was the last fight.
What's that for 10 rounds?
Did he win?
Ring after winning his last fight. Yep. So
last 2 fights.
His last 2 fights. So
went out on a high note.
Exactly. And plus, I feel like Roy Jones Jr., because he's an analyst, not saying that Mike Tyson doesn't know boxing. Obviously, he does.
He's just been more in tune with the game.
Exactly. So if they would have fought this weekend, if I'm a betting man, which I am,
which you are,
I would have gone for Roy Jones Jr. to win the fight, even though he's fighting a bigger man.
Can you imagine Ringside beer being the #1 beer for the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight? Can happen. It's all up to you guys.
Never say never, guys.
It's all up to you.
All right, man. Speaking about Ringside beer, quick little message from our sponsors. Take it away, Jason.
Ringside Beer, since 2012, committed to bringing fight fans quality lagers and ales. Brewed in Anaheim, California, Orlando, Florida, and Queensbury, New York, Ringside Beer is proud to offer the freshest beer in both 16-ounce cans and on draft. We don't want the 12, we want the 16. Yeah. Look for our flagship American-style lager, Irish-style red ale, or any of our other beers in your area. Shop at ringsidebeerstore.com for t-shirts, hats, and tap handles. Get in touch at ringsidebeer.com. Get in the ring. Be ringside. Ringside Beer.
Yep. Awesome, man. What do you think about the shirts, man? Ringside Beer.
Awesome. I love them. Dude, I love them. So comfy.
So comfy. They fit well. They have that more of a athletic shirt. Like they're not thick.
They are built well. That's the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm rough on clothes, and this is built really well. It's that nice material. Like you said, it's athletic. It feels very soft.
Very breathable too. Like
breathable.
So
and it's available.
On ringsidebeerstore.com.
Yeah.
I have a couple of their tap handles here, man.
Let's talk about them.
Dude, I love the boxing glove.
The boxing glove is so lit.
So one of my favorite ones is the Irish one.
The Irish one's pretty dope.
Yeah, the Red Ale Irish Ireland tap handle, which is probably one of my favorites. Also, too, they came out with the MMA tap handle. And
the MMA tap handle is so sweet.
And if I'm not mistaken,
the green one's my favorite.
If I'm not mistaken, they are the only ones who have an MMA tap handle.
And if somebody else has it, they're breaking the law.
Anywho, but we just want to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Ringside Beer.
100%.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
And we hope we grow with the brand and make the brand proud, you know?
That's the goal. You know, we want to grow, and we want to grow with them, and we want them to grow with us. And, you know, this is the time to do it while we have some content going on, and there's stuff to watch, and there's stuff to talk about.
Yes.
I mean, you know, who better to do it with than with Ringside Beer?
Yes, the fight beer.
The fight beer, the number one fight beer.
There we go, baby. What's next? Oh, fights this weekend, man.
Let's talk about them.
All right, so tomorrow is Tuesday, August 11th. We have the Dana White's Contender Series on ESPN Plus.
I'm so glad it's back, dude.
Oh man, it's just just having more sports back, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's just amazing.
Not even just that, but so I truly love these Contender Series, and the reason why I'm looking back and forth is I'm trying to pull it up for us. That way we have some, you know, some.
It's on ESPN.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm not pulling it up. Anyways, I'm so glad that they're back because, you know, when you get these guys who make it to the UFC, they call themselves prize fighters, right? Yeah. They are the kind of guys that they already got to a point where they just do it for show. Obviously, for money.
Well, not only that, is these contenders are fighting for that contract for the big eyes. So I almost feel like the Contender Series has way more exciting fights because a lot more is on the line. Like, dude, you're fighting for your future. You're fighting for a potential contract with the UFC. So a lot of these young fighters get on there and give it their all, which is awesome to see because
if you're not knocking somebody out, you're not getting a contract. And Dana White's proven that.
Well, that's how Sean O'Malley got signed, dude. That's what I'm saying. They're the building stars, and I'm excited to see this.
That was such a knockout, bro.
The main event or the final fight is Dustin Stoltzfus with a 12 wins, 1 loss record from the United States. Fights at 185, 6 feet tall, orthodox, and he's fighting who?
He's fighting Joe Pfeiffer. Apologize
Pfeiffer?
Pfeiffer? Yeah, I don't know why I threw an R in there. Apologize if I say it incorrectly. I'd be happy for you to educate me. He's 6'2", and he fights orthodox as well. So looks like it'd be a nice little style matchup. We don't know too much about these guys just because they're
on the Contender Series.
They're on the Contender Series,
but
we're gonna learn.
Yeah. So we'll definitely watch that tomorrow and give our thoughts on the best fights on Thursday. So we're planning to have our podcast run we'll record on Thursday, but we'll have it up on Friday, and then we'll have it up on Mondays.
Yeah, that's the goal. You know, we want to get you guys some pre-fight content and then some post-fight content because we want to see, you know, where we're at on our recollection and I guess on our views on these things. And hopefully we get it right. And if we don't, that's fine too.
But we'll make our picks and see who's going to win for the UFC 255 card. And
especially in this sport, you know, you can make a pick. These guys got to step in a cage, lock the door, and throw some blows. So,
but
you never know.
On that, I'll find the picks. But if you guys want to listen to more detailed picks, we have a partnership with Fight Night Picks on YouTube, and those guys they go deeper into it. They actually know the history of the fighters, who their coaches is. Like they go way into more detail.
Yeah, they go deep.
We are just picking fighters who,
once again, I pick on a lot of impulse and a lot of emotion.
You're like, who's your favorite fighter? That's who you're gonna pick.
But the thing with me is I like getting a reaction, so you know.
Yeah. For more detailed work, go follow our friends at Fight Night Picks on YouTube.
Shout out Fight Night Picks.
Fight Night Picks, guys. And then what else? Oh, this week we also have boxing's coming back. We have on Wednesday, August 12th, Jono Carroll versus Maxie
Hughes. 10-round fight.
Yeah, at lightweight division on ESPN Plus. We're just glad boxing is back, man. We're just seriously like it's.
My motto is it's a lot easier to get out of bed knowing somebody's getting punched in the face. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, your boy's going to have no problem getting up.
Yeah. And then finally this weekend, dude. Oh, my God. Pull up the card, bro. We have
Let's do it.
Saturday, August 15th, UFC 252 Stipe versus Daniel Cormier. The third fight. Woo! On pay-per-view, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. With the co-main event being Sean O'Malley.
Sugar Sean
versus Marlon Chito Vera.
Such a good fight.
First, let's go on the co-main event, man.
Let's start right there.
So go ahead and click on the Sean O'Malley.
Sounds good.
And
let's pull up a little stats for these people.
This fight is so intriguing, man.
Please let me introduce this guy.
Go ahead, man.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Sugar Sean. Oh my goodness, 12-0. Okay,
12-0.
Last fight is coming off a win, and it was a knockout win.
Dude, what was beautiful is that the way he set it up, dude. It was
the feint.
The feint.
It was like the feint.
It was the feint.
Another little feint, and then boom.
What was the feint uppercut? So he did a little uppercut like this, and then circled around and just dropped him. But that was a test for him though, because he was fighting a veteran. Like that was his first veteran.
That was the first fight that people were like, okay, there's a potential that this guy might get exposed with some sort of weakness or flaw. Dude's 5'11", 72-inch reach, so he's got long arms, and at that weight class, that's really long arms.
Yeah,
and 40-inch leg reach, so he can kick with the best of them.
Yep,
dude's such a stud.
Marlon Vera.
This guy's a stud too.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, man, he's so good.
Straight gangster.
I actually remember him fighting on the was it UFC Latin America?
Oh yeah.
I'm drawing a blank. Ultimate Fighter.
The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh my god.
Thank God that's coming back too.
Yeah.
More content.
I remember specifically watching him. He was I think he was losing the first round on one of his debut fights or something, and he was talking to his coach like, hey man, if you think I'm losing, just say something crazy like, you're fighting for family or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So he was like, and then he got that drive, like he has no quit in him, bro. Like
this dude has that it factor where he can like just continue to push through adversity.
He fights out of Huntington Beach. If I'm not mistaken, he moved to Huntington Beach.
Something in the air out there.
Newport Beach. He fights out of the Ruka training facility.
Yeah. So Ruka's hard. Ruka's hard. They're a dope company.
Yeah. And he's Ecuador. He's 5'8", so he's
5'8", so he's got about a 3-inch disadvantage on Sean O'Malley, which I don't like that.
Well, it also has a 70.5 reach advantage.
So inch and a half reach disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage, yeah.
Yeah, once again.
But you know what? The way he fights, though, I don't even think that would be a real disadvantage.
No, he's going to close distance.
It's only an inch and a half, It's
he's going to close distance. He's going to get... But see, the thing is, you don't want to get in the clinch with Sean.
And also, they're fighting at the UFC Apex.
Well, you actually do kind of want to get in the clinch. Now that I think about it, you want to take this dude down.
Well, yeah, because if Sean's O'Malley on the outside, he's going to...
You don't want to strike with
Yeah, he's going to pick him from the outside. So I'm excited because this almost feels like a main event on its own. You know?
Oh, no, they could have headlined the card.
Yeah. So...
But to add the cherry on top, that is Daniel Cormier and Stipe for the third time.
Yeah. You know what? Who do you think is going to win that one? Because
let me pull up this here because we got to definitely look at. I mean, it's more than just the eye. We got to look at the stats. We got to look at who they are. As a
DC
fighter.
won the first one by knockout, and I don't think that was by mistake by no means.
No, 100%. Stipe did not respect Daniel's stand-up game.
Yeah,
at all.
And at the second fight, I actually was there live to go watch that one. He was winning the majority of the rounds, but it's also not how you start, it's how you finish. So
I mean, I think what we most got out of this fight is Cormier has striking.
He does.
That is equivalent to Stipe.
Yeah.
I'd say they're definitely both at a super high level. Yeah. Now, the thing is, when Cormier started trying to shoot, I mean, you could see Stipe was getting a little concerned. And that's why he started turning it on. But at first, it was just like he was not respecting Cormier's striking. It's like he was waiting for him to gas out or something.
Well, he was walking towards him. I'm like, and I remember being in the...
He just was not respecting it at all.
I remember being in the arena, and I was like, okay, I picked DC to win. And he was winning most of the rounds. But the second time. And I just saw him walking towards Stipe, and he would have his hands down. I was like, pick your hands up.
Yeah, man.
And the second he started having his hands down and just kind of like popping them, I was like, oh man, I'm nervous. This is not going to end well. And then fourth round? He gets.
That was the fourth.
He gets how many? Like what?
13
body shots,
something like that.
And I'm like, oh no. I was like, I mean, Stipe,
that's the way to do it too, man.
Not that I have anything against Stipe whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, he's a firefighter. Fights,
what a stud, dude.
Yeah, awesome.
The best heavyweight of all time.
Yes.
Argue with me.
I can't argue.
Oh, I'm not telling you. Other people. Try it.
But I'm just glad that they're running it back because this one's going to be like, all right, you got one, I got one. Let's finally see who wins the third one.
Right.
Make the deciding factor. Yeah, I could see either
and
guy.
It's so important
winning.
for the division too. They have to clear up this this clog in the drain. You know, this is like this is very important. They have to figure out, okay, who's the baddest man of all time in that division? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Now that we've settled that, what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna leave? Are you gonna stay?
I'm leaning towards Daniel Cormier to possibly win this one.
You know, if I'm going with my emotion and my impulse, it says Stipe because he won the second time. He proved to Cormier like I can beat you.
Yeah.
So that's where I think he's going to ride that one.
Well, they proved both because DC knocked him out in the first round.
Right, but everybody says it was a fluke. Oh, he got him with a good punch. I'm not saying I say that. I don't believe that at all.
I don't think so either because DC was talking about...
Look at the second fight, bro. He was piecing him up again.
Yeah.
You know? So,
well, he was telling Steve, like, hey, man, that was something that we watched during the tapes, you know, when the fighter tapes, is like he would leave his left hand down and DC caught him with a right slipping inside. So,
it was
yeah,
clean.
there's no...
It was a game plan for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was a fluke whatsoever.
No, but once again, you leave people with that ability to even say that, they're going to use it.
Yeah.
So, this is very good for the division. This is awesome to see. I'm glad they finally got it booked. I'm glad they finally agreed to fight each other because, Stipe could have held out and then forced DC to retire.
Well, all right, so DC wins. Is he going to retire? If Stipe wins, is he going to retire? Because I almost feel like both fighters are this is like, it feels like both, this is their last fight.
Yeah, it feels like it. So this is how I look at it. Once again, could be emotional thought process, but yeah, I feel if DC wins, he's definitely headed out. Leaving on a high note. Now,
you don't think he'll fight Francis Ngannou?
No, I don't.
No.
What is for what?
Yeah.
For what, dude?
If DC wins,
you already beat a guy who beat him 2 times. You beat him 2 times.
The only reason I think he would stick around is that John Jones moves to heavyweight, and that's the thing. If either one stays, if Stipe or Daniel win, I feel if John Jones,
he just has not given any John Jones any energy. He's just like, that's done. He's like, my focus is with Stipe. Like, yeah, bro, but what if after that fight?
Because either one.
So I'm a John Jones fan, and in my eyes. You can make sure John Jones had one hand tied behind his back. DC will never win against John Jones. That's just my opinion.
You know what? Never say never.
Never. And yeah, I'm instigating. I'm instigating, bro.
Yeah.
But,
because I almost feel like if DC were to win the belt and they say, hey, John Jones wants to be the double champ, fine, or, and they go to heavyweight, I'm like, dude, that would be such a big fight because I almost feel like
that's the biggest fight.
Well, Daniel's, that's his division. That's heavyweight,
Yeah. So at that point, it's it's a different fight. You can't use the first two.
No, because he's a lot heavier. Division. He has more power, And
then that would be John's first fight at heavyweight.
Exactly.
I would love that. I'm all for the beef, bro.
Because not only that, it's like now you have a story, you have a background. Of course, I would want to see Stipe versus
and the draw.
Stipe versus Jones too. Like I would not number 2, but like I would also like to see that as well.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm excited. The potential of
John Jones has so many.
I really hope they stayed for one more fight because I feel there's a super fight.
So that's the thing. DC has nothing to prove after he wins, and that's just my look at it. Now Stipe does. Because he was, bro, he was on the projection of being the best heavyweight of all time, right? Defending the belt 3 times. No heavyweight has ever done that. That belt gets tossed around more than a bad joke, The
heavyweight?
Yeah, the heavyweight belt. It's tossed around all the time, There's, but he has defended it a couple times. So, he has something to prove. Okay, he wins, he beats DC. He has to face Ngannou again because Ngannou is such a interesting opponent to have for Stipe. I don't know if the styles match up in Stipe's favor. They work against Stipe in every way, shape, or form.
Ngannou?
Yes, bro. He's bigger, stronger. I know they fought. I know,
Okay.
but
I was gonna
I'm
say, I
saying
was like,
this Ngannou's, bro. We're talking about the Ngannou now, though.
Oh, okay.
Right? Not back.
Yeah.
What has happened, right? I'm talking about right now, dude. This guy is on a heater. He's elevated as a fighter. He's evolved. You know, I feel like that style does not match well for Stipe. I would love to see them running back again. But he has to win against DC.
If Stipe and Ngannou fight again, I still give Stipe the edge.
Well, I mean, I give him the edge too, but stylistically, I don't think they match up well. I think Stipe has to fight a game that he does not want to fight.
But it was wrestling, or what do you mean?
Well, I think he has to stand up with them. He has to.
Heck, no. Who was gonna want to stand up against Francis Ngannou, man?
I think this Ngannou's different now, bro. Like, I don't want to go down to the ground with this guy.
I think your best chances are to go take him down. You know, because who wants to get punched in the face by Ngannou?
I do. Hey, 5,000 likes. I'm just kidding.
Hey man, why'd you get 5,000 likes and be like, hey dude, you gotta get punched by Francis,
bro?
Did you see the little?
I'll be known as a flake. That's fine.
The little snippet with what's his name, Ryan Garcia from boxing. He has Francis.
That kid has such fast hands.
Dude, so he had Francis Ngannou put on the, what do you call it, the body?
Yeah.
The body.
And he was taking some shots, but even that kid was.
But dude, Francis Ngannou was just like giggling. He's like, "You done?" And Ryan Garcia's like, "What?" Didn't even barely moved him an inch. Barely.
True. He know they hurt.
Nah, man. I don't even think that's. Are you kidding me? No, heck no, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even think I'd want to do that.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. We're excited for the fights this weekend. We're gonna come back on. Well, we have another video on Friday talking about the UFC 252 card. We're going to go more in depth, but right now it's just a co-main event and the main event.
Yeah, we just wanted to put in some work tonight, get a little introduction going for you guys, make ourselves known.
Yeah,
and give you a little, history on,
especially for the first episode.
This is the first episode.
The first episode.
So stoked.
Yeah,
like, you guys don't realize how pumped we are to even be doing this.
Yeah,
and it all is thanks to you guys. Like, we have a lot of support. We have the greatest support. Everybody that's going to tune in and watch this, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys.
Anything. Give us a like, a follow, a comment, anything. So put a little emoji in the
shout
comments.
Out.
A little shout out.
Go buy some Ringside beer shirts.
Serious. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm cool with this. Are you cool with this?
I'm cool with this. First episode down.
So I can come back, right?
Yeah, you can. Of course, brother. Of course. All right.
We're just going to give this a try,
Yeah. Well, we want to thank everybody for listening. We already got about an hour in, give or take. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. You guys have a great day. Remember, guys, be ringside.
Be ringside.
Boom. See you later, guys. See you on the next one.